Hi, and now, right guys, we're gonna talk about, are you helping? Go on, go away. Gonna talk about your equipment, things that you're gonna be using, things that you shouldn't be using during your training, okay? Do excuse Bonnie, she's trying to be involved. Anyway, so we've got quite a lot here that we're going to get through. I'm going to explain how we use them, how we don't use them, and some controversy that you might see between different things. I'm going to start off with the very simple one, which is the flat collar. So this is the one that everyone will have on their dog, and typically it's the one that most people will walk their dog on. But I'm going to tell you why we shouldn't be walking our dog on this. Now, with our flat collar, the way that it sits on our dog, it actually sits to the point where it will restrict airflow if the dog pulls, and it can start causing damage to their trachea as well. You could end up with a collapsed trachea, collapsed windpipe, and of course you don't want that. So these collars, they're not made for you to walk your dog with. They're actually made simply to hold a tag. That's what they're for. These are literally a legal requirement with a tag on for your dog, so that people know that your dog's not a stray, basically. So don't walk your dog on one, but do definitely have them wearing one. These collars can also be known as agitation collars as well. So if you see the ones with like the loops on them and the handles, these are ones where you actually use the handle to hold the dog back, cause that tension against that windpipe, and it causes agitation, and it's used for things like your protection sports, your bite work, but only to be used by the professionals or people that definitely know what they're doing, or if you are in the dog sport world. Okay, it's the only time you should be using one of these to hold your dog back, because you'll know how to do it properly, you'll know how to do it safely. So stop, please, walking your dog on one of these and letting them pull you. Now, I will explain the whole reason that it does agitate the dog, and you'll find that when your dog's pulling on it, their behaviour can get worse, their reactivity can get worse, is because, like I say, it does suppress the windpipe. So with our dogs, if we're suppressing the windpipe, we're stopping the amount of oxygen being able to get through. When we're stopping the amount of oxygen being able to get through, it can wind our dog up. So our dogs then, the blood pressure is getting higher, our dog's trying to intake more air, so they're starting to pant harder, they're starting to get frustrated, they're starting to get antsy, and that's where we see this burst of reactivity from them. And you're probably thinking, well, I don't understand why it's got worse, what can I be doing wrong? Could literally come down to that, okay? So use this one as a legal requirement with a tag on, and that is about it. So what should you be walking your dog on? Now, there's multiple options, okay? First one, you've got your slip lead. It also comes as a slip collar as well. I prefer the collars to the leads, purely because you can attach all different types of leads to your collar, okay? This one's quite thick. This is a slip lead. Now, I don't normally like the thick ones, because when we've got a thick one, again, you've got the risk of the same as this, suppressing that windpipe. But your slip lead, your slip collars do sit higher on the dog's neck. So they'll sit sort of up here, behind the ear a little bit more. But you'll find with the thick ones, a lot more pressure from you will be needed to get the same sort of reaction, if you like, from a thinner one. So I say to people, you want something half the size of this at least, if we're doing training with your dog. So this one's all right if you've got like a chill dog and you just want to slip something over them to go for a walk somewhere and they're not going to be on it for very long, fine. But if you are doing training, I'd recommend the slip collar and the thinner one as well. There's always a way you should put it on your dog. So it should look like this. If I'm putting it on my dog like this and I create pressure and I pull, then it will tighten, okay? But as soon as I release that pressure, it releases this, and then that's our pressure and release. If I do it the other way round, so say for example it's this way, you see how that's not releasing? So I'll pull it, that's still tight on my arm, okay? What's supposed to happen if we have it the correct way round is you will tighten it, and then it will loosen itself. So always make sure that whatever side you're walking your dog, this is coming towards you, not away from you. I hope that makes sense. And like I say, same with the slip collars as well. They're exactly the same thing. It's just the collar aspect rather than the full lead. Okay, so if we are walking our dog on our slip collar, you know, that's fine, our slip lead. If we're dealing with a dog that is uber reactive, maybe we've what we call poisoned that equipment. So maybe we've tried a slip collar before, our dog's still reactive, it's learned to push through that slip collar. Maybe it's not been conditioned correctly. We've then poisoned that tool. So you can reteach the dog how to use it, but typically forget it, we're going to go on to something else. And even for a dog that, like I say, is really reactive, we need some corrections in there. Bear with. Bonnie, enough. Donkey. So yeah, even if I've got a really reactive dog that we're working with, we need those corrections in there. And basically what we don't want to do is have something waiting there as a last resort. We want to use it straight away. And typically it's the prong collar. So these things, yes, they look like a medieval torture device. Okay, they're not. This is actually going to cause less harm to your dog than walking them on this. Okay, so what this is also known as a mother's teeth, because the way that it works is when you're correcting your dog, it will kind of, as much as I can, it will close up like this. So quite a lot of people think that it will dig into the dog's neck. It doesn't. It closes up like this, and it forms a sort of pinch motion on your dog, a pinch sensation, just as their mum would if they were correcting them with a little nip. Okay, so it's that little pinch that they feel, that they understand. Okay, they've had that from a baby. Their mum has already done that to them when they were going through their first phases of learning, their first imprinting phases. Their mum would have done that to them. So they know what this sensation means already. Okay, it's instinctual within them. So this is just us using that to our advantage. Now, like I say, quite a lot of people are like, oh my God, they're the devil. You know, I would never put one on my dog. I'm here to show you now, okay, it doesn't hurt. Like, I proper yanked on that, okay, and it doesn't hurt. So when I'm working with your dog, if we're going through reactivity, say we're learning lead pressure, we're doing some loose lead walking, this is probably what we're going to use. I do like to start with a slip collar. However, it depends on your own individual case, okay? If you've got a dog that is maybe human aggressive, maybe they're, instead of a dog that's reactive out of fear or out of excitement, and we're dealing with an aggressive reaction from the dog, we're more likely to opt for one of these, just to give you as the handler much more control and have a much safer environment for me to teach you in and for you to learn in. Okay, so like I say, you saw me yank that on myself. Like, there's nothing there. I'm fine. Okay, so like I say, it's less of a pushing in and more of a pinch sensation instead. Okay, so that's the prong collar, pinch collar, whatever you want to call it. All right, next thing we're going to go into is the harness. Like, it's a sack of shit. All right. This is Bonnie's harness, okay? The only thing this harness is used for is to clip her in the car. That's it, okay? It's the only thing that she wears this harness for. Now, if you're walking your dog on a harness and you're struggling to keep them under control, it's because you're wearing one of these. You're not wearing it, your dog's wearing one of these, okay? These were originally designed to allow a dog to pull comfortably. Sled dogs, cart pulling dogs, this is what they would wear. They were invented for the reason to allow the dog to be able to pull something. Okay, so if you're trying to get your dog to stop pulling on one of these, you're fighting a losing battle. All right, guys, it's as simple as that. This, see the massive chest piece? This allows your dog to use their full chest muscles to be able to pull through you. Okay, it allows them a lot more strength to be able to pull, and it gives you zero control over your dog. Not only that, your dog can, I've seen so many dogs easily slip out of these so much. And yeah, it's just crazy. So if you've got one of these and you're using it, use it to strap your dog in the car, and that is it. Okay, but other than that, we're not using it. All right. other than the fact that I do actually need that because I need to strap Bonnie in the car later on. So I'm just going to take that back and we're going to place it there. Okay. Now, leads, obviously you've got your normal leads, okay, one that you'll probably walk your dog on, that's fine, and we'll attach them to our prongs, we'll attach it, you know, to our slip collars. But the other one you will need is a flexi lead, a long line, a retractable lead, okay. You can get them in all different lengths. I always recommend the 10-meter ones. So this is a 10-meter retractable lead. It's not the flexi, purely because I do like flexi, but this one's much cheaper and actually much smaller as well. But yeah, these are great for teaching your dog that recall, okay? So you can get that distance from them, but they're still secure. You can use your long lines for this as well. I found with long lines, I just got tangled up in them all the time and they were pissing me off. This, I'm not gonna get tangled up in this, so I like them for that reason. But we use it to teach recall, and that is it, okay? That is what that is there for. Last on the list, and the most important tool of them all, the tool that is the only tool out of all of these that can literally cause your dog zero physical harm. Zero, okay? That causes your dog physical harm. That, if used incorrectly, can cause your dog physical harm. This can cause your dog physical harm. It can cause your dog to chafe. This can cause your dog physical harm. This can cause your dog physical harm. The only one that can't cause your dog physical harm is the e-collar. Okay, now again, just the same as the prong collar. I know it looks like a medieval torture device. Okay, it's not. This is actually Bonnie's e-collar. So she actually has wings on hers as well, which are these two little bits here. They don't come with these. So these are an extra that you can buy. It just allows for a sort of a wider range of sensation and comfort as well. So it's just a bit more comfortable for her. They all come like this. So they all look like this. You can get bigger ones, you can get smaller ones. I like to use the Mini Educator, the ET300 series. It's a nice, easy remote to use, nice big buttons, big dial up the top there. It's just the easiest to use, the simplest to get along with as well. This will sit on your dog, not here, so not on their trachea. It will sit slightly to the side of them here. Okay, so that is how you would put it on your dog. It doesn't have to be right up here. It can be anywhere as long as the 2 points are touching your dog. If you've got like a dog with really thick fur, long fur, then you will need some points like this to actually be able to get through that fur and get to contact with your dog. Now, like I say, these are the only thing that cause zero physical harm to your dog, okay? So these go from level 0 to 100. If we desensitize our dog to the stimulation of the e-collar, you will find yourself working your way up them levels very, very quickly. So these, same as any tool, need to be conditioned, and they need to be conditioned correctly, all right? Bonnie, for example, her working level, I don't know if you can see it there, her working level is a 20, okay? That's Bonnie's working level. That's 20 out of 100 that we could go to. So that's nothing, all right? And just so you can see, how do I, hold on, turn it on. So to turn them on, it's literally this red button here to the red dot on the collar. It will flash green, and then you'll know if you press this, both flash red, it's on, it's receiving, okay? So, for example, so I'm going to put it on that 20 where Bonnie was. It does move quite easily, so what you can do with this is lock it down. So if you hold that down, it will lock the number down so it won't move, okay? So find that 20. Oh, it's so sensitive. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to hold it in my hand here. I've got both of them points touching me. I'm going to tap away. I can feel it, but let's not like, yeah, whatever. Yeah? Like I say, I can feel it. I know it's there. If that kept going, it'd be really annoying and I'd want to get rid of it. That's what it's supposed to do. That's the idea. Okay, so the idea of this is that we teach our dog what this means so that when they start feeling that stim on them, they think to themselves, oh, you know, I know what that means and I know how to get rid of it. I have to do this behavior. okay? Like I say, if you use it correctly, if you condition it correctly, best tool ever, okay? This thing will change your life because it allows you effective communication with your dog wherever they may be. So this has like a half a mile range, so your dog could be half a mile away from you and it will still receive, okay? So this is the only tool that will allow your dog the ultimate freedom, okay? Like Bonnie, she's never on lead, ever on lead, purely because she's e-collar trained. So her recall is spot on. And this is a dog that used to kick off and try and kill everything that's now not on lead anywhere because she is e-collar trained, okay? So great piece of kit. I will always say to people, if you're doing recall, you're having one of these on. Our dogs, when we're using like a long line, a flexi lead, anything like that to teach them stuff, our dogs are smarter than we give them credit for. So their recall could be going absolutely amazingly. We're like, yeah, my dog's got this. We let them off lead. What our dog will do is actually evaluate what's happened and they'll find the factor that's having to make them come back to you, okay? So they will think to themselves, okay, well, she's taken the lead off of me, so the lead might be the factor that's making me come back. Therefore, your dog's recall could be spot on, absolutely perfect. Every time you've got the lead on, you take the lead off and they go, ha, 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 lead's come off. You can't make me come back now, and that's it, your recall's ruined, okay? Whereas with our e-collar, so we put the two together, so we overlay the e-collar with our training on the long line, on the flexi lead. Hi, yes, I know that's yours. You can't have it on now. No, you're gonna have to wait. Yeah? Can you wait? It just has to be in the videos, honestly. I know. So yeah, once you've overlaid it, you can then take your long line off. Your dog will do the thing where it's like, okay, what is the factor that's making me come back? I bet it's that lead. Lead's now come off. Let me try and get away with it. They'll still get the stim on this because this is still on them. They then realize that the lead isn't the factor that's making them come back. There's something else there that's staying with them, so they still come back, okay? But they have the joys of off-lead freedom. All right, guys? So, just an overall recap on all of that, okay? Don't walk your dog on that. Don't walk your dog on this. Use it for car safety, okay? Do walk your dog on this only when been conditioned correctly and you've been shown how to use it by a professional, okay? If you're doing the reactivity rehab, you will know how to use one of these. It is in one of the sessions that we do if you're someone that is going to be using one, okay? Slip lead, slip collar, again, they'll be provided for you. You will be shown how to use them. If you are getting one for your dog and you want to know how to use it, then I don't know, it's quite simple, to be fair. Just make sure it's on the correct way, as we spoke about. Make sure you're working on that pressure and release with them, okay? This one, to be used when you're teaching recall. Most effective of them all is the e-collar. E-collar causes the least, or is the only one that causes zero physical harm to your dog, but does provide your dog with the ultimate freedom. All right, guys? So that is just an overview of equipment. The e-collar, if you go into the e-collar course, then you will see how we condition one of these. And also, there will be some videos as well very soon being uploaded about how to condition the prong collar as well. Okay, so that's it. See you all soon.